Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over technical analysis, gold and silver. And at the end of this, we're going to go over some copper and diversified mining companies just to get a gauge on what they're doing as well. I'm going to jump right into gold and silver. And again, this is not financial advice. It's just my financial opinion. Again, technical charting on the short term is very difficult. The reliability of a lot of these patterns are about 60%. So 60%, you're going to get wrong 40% of the time. I wouldn't necessarily trade off of those percentages. On the big long-term pictures, the probabilities are much higher, but they take a lot longer to develop and play out. So that's your trade-off. I'm more of a long-term investor. So here we go. Here is the short-term. We still have the 10-year declining in this downtrend. We have not broken this resistance line to the upside. So 10-year, when the 10-year pulls back, it means that people are afraid of something. People are buying bonds. Who is buying bonds? There's a demand out there for bonds. Some people say it's the banks. They have to use it for soaking up some liquidity and getting some assets on their balance sheets, and they can use bonds for those assets. The dollar was up a little bit today. It is right at its resistance line going across. If this breaks to the upside, and it could very well break to the upside. We have a low, higher low, higher low. It's coming right into this line. If the dollar goes up, this is going to be a headwind in the short term for commodities. It's not a tailwind. Gold went up quite a bit today. Again, I'm still patient here because, remember guys, I already have positions in this stuff. But 2 large down days here. We had this nice big hammer pattern. Usually that means we're going to reverse. Now the buyers have to stay in the gas here. We got to stay on the pedal to the metal to basically overcome these 2 large down days. What happens is you get this massive selling pressure. This comes up. It'll contract. The opening price and closing price start to contract. It'll roll over, and then we head lower. That's what I'm looking for, is basically a signal saying that this is a legit move up and that it's sustaining. I am not in the camp yet to think that this is sustaining. Kind of like this move here, it was a large up day, and then these small down days, I'm like, oh, this is going to roll back over, and it rolled back over. But then it kind of stepped in and moved higher. So short term, I'm still waiting. Silver does not have a bullish engulfing yet. It does not engulf the one before it. We'll see what happens here, but I'm waiting. I want to see the buyer step in continually here. And platinum, we got, it's coming on up. But again, this is 3 big down days here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's contracting in the opening and closing price. I would hold on and just wait to see if this thing rolls back over. GDX ETF, again, there's no real bottoming pattern here. We're just kind of chopping sideways. Chopping sideways on SILJ. I'm looking for a pattern. I want to see something. There is support below this. I want to see some sort of pattern, like a bullish engulfing here. This is a bullish engulfing. I'm like, oh, it's going to go higher. And then it was met with a bearish engulfing right here, lower. Another bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing, bearish piercing, bearish piercing. It's all over the place. Bearish means that it could potentially go down. Here is Franco-Nevada. We've got the line going across for support. We bounced off of it. And we got a little small down day today. Wheat and precious metals coming on down, broke the downtrend, coming back. We're still in this expanding wedge pattern. But nice good up move today. Switching gears into copper. I'm looking at copper. We do have, a little bit of big selling pressure here and here. Nice wick at the top. So we came down. We got the nice bullish engulfing this day. 1, 2, 3. Sideways motion coming on up. Slow leak off of sellers. It doesn't look too bad. I think we got to break this 460 level, and I think we're in the clear then. coming across. 460s in the clear. BHP, this thing's just chopping sideways back and forth, bullish engulfing right here though. So I would assume with this here, probability to go up is there. Rio Tinto, another diversified mining company coming across, bullish engulfing here, headed higher, chopping sideways still. Vale, more of a nickel producer, just chopping sideways. Doesn't look great, but doesn't look bad. Bearish engulfing, just kind of looking, don't really see too much with this one. Norilsk nickel, coming down, created this like head. So I don't know if this is like a shoulder head almost, but not really. I'm just looking, not really saying much here. Kind of a wedge shape pattern. So, I don't. Those diversified mining companies looking, it's like they're just going sideways. It's like there's no clear direction in them. And gold and silver, again, I don't see bottoming patterns necessarily. So I think we got to chop sideways for a while before figuring out what direction we want to go with it. I'm sure it's pretty confused. We've got a lower 10-year paired with a higher dollar. Probably's like, what the heck do I do? Do I fall down? Do I go up? Obviously went up today, but it's interesting to see where this is going to end up. The valuations are still good. I still think it's a good long-term hold, but I'm trying to evaluate. The short-term stuff is very difficult to read, and I'm just in it, riding it all over the place. I would not be adverse to cost averaging into your favorite companies, like Norilsk Nickel here doesn't look too bad. Teuton Resources, Ely Gold, all those royalty companies, I still like all those. Wheaton Precious Metals, Franco-Nevada. Those are the ones that I prefer. And physical metals, I don't think you can go wrong with physical metals if you're doing this from a long-term perspective. I like platinum the best. That's my favorite one at the moment. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.